It's remarkable that in just 2 decades, more than 600 Chinese car brands have vanished from the market. Many names that once dominated and were ubiquitous on the streets have quickly collapsed because they couldn't keep up with trends. Let's explore 10 brands that were once glorious but are now just memories, revealing the brutal intensity of the Chinese automotive industry. Number 1. Cheetah, Changfeng. Starting as a military factory, Cheetah once held an important position supplying off-road vehicles to the Chinese army. A partnership with Mitsubishi helped them produce many durable SUVs, most notably the Black King Kong, which was once considered a road warrior. However, after merging with GAC, Mitsubishi technology was no longer shared. The new generations of vehicles were just stretched versions of the old Pajero, lacking automatic transmissions and four-wheel drive essential features of modern SUVs. Meanwhile, Great Wall Motor launched a series of high-tech, stylish SUVs, quickly leaving Cheetah behind. Piled-up debt and reduced competitiveness led to their factories being gradually acquired. From a military powerhouse, Cheetah ended up as a forgotten brand, leaving a sense of regret among off-road vehicle enthusiasts. Number 2. Tianjin Xiali. Born in 1983, Xiali was once the icon of budget cars in China. Partnering with Daihatsu and Toyota, the company provided compact, low-cost cars accounting for as much as half of the national taxi market in the 1990s. But when Geely and BYD introduced cheaper and more modern cars, Xiali could only engage in a fierce price war. Its merger with FAW trapped the brand in the mini-car segment, losing the opportunity for technological development. By 2018, sales were only a few thousand vehicles, a tiny number compared to its glorious past. In the end, Xiali was sold for a symbolic price of just yuan, closing a brilliant but also bitter journey. Number 3. Zotye Auto. If Xiali was remembered for being cheap, Zotye was famous for copying. Starting with a ripoff of the Toyota Terios to create the Zotye 2008, the company quickly made a name for itself. After that, Zotye continued to release a series of copycat versions of the Porsche Cayenne, Audi Q3, and Volkswagen Tiguan, jokingly called luxury cars for the average person. This opportunistic strategy helped them achieve sales of tens of thousands of vehicles each month. But as Chinese consumers increasingly focused on quality, technology, and branding, Zotye's backwardness became apparent. Outdated engines, no R&D investment, and a lack of safety and durability caused customers to turn away. Ultimately, Zotye became a bitter lesson. Copying can bring temporary success, but it cannot replace long-term innovation and creativity. Number 4. Lifan Auto. Once a giant in the motorcycle industry, Lifan harbored ambitions to replicate that success in the auto industry. But their cars were plagued with flaws, from a ripoff of the Mini Cooper to models based on Toyota all had technical issues. Some cars had crooked steering wheels, easily detached steering wheel covers, and even warning sounds that were no different from a doorbell. Instead of focusing on improving quality, Lifan diverted resources into real estate and even soccer. When the financial crisis hit, they couldn't withstand it and were forced to sell their production lines to Geely and file for bankruptcy in 2020. The motorcycle division still exists, but Lifan Auto officially ceased to be. This is a classic example of a collapse due to great ambition, but a lack of a solid foundation and a long-term vision. Number 5. Dongfeng Yulon, heavily promoted thanks to a three-way alliance between Dongfeng Nissan and Yulon Taiwan. This brand set big goals with the launch of the Big 7 SUV. Initially, the market expected a breakthrough, but the reality was a shock. The car had terrible fuel consumption, a weak, self-developed engine, and an unreasonably high price. Consumers immediately turned away, and social media ridiculed the brand without mercy. Dongfeng Yulon did not own core technology, nor did it have a clear brand identity, so it quickly fell into decline. In the end, the name became just a shadow in Dongfeng's giant ecosystem, proving the typical failure of a brand that had backing but lacked the real capacity to survive. Number 6. Brilliance. Auto Huachin. Brilliance once had a golden opportunity by partnering with BMW, gaining access to engines and even the BMW logo to produce the V7 model. Thanks to this halo, they once achieved very good sales. But when they switched to using domestic engines and dropped the BMW logo, customers immediately turned their backs. Instead of investing in technology to stand on their own, Brilliance blamed their failure on the lack of the logo. For 17 consecutive years, the company was mired in losses, poor management, corruption, and strategic blunders. A great opportunity was in their hands, but brilliance let it slip away, becoming a bitter testament that even with a strong partner, a brand will eventually collapse if it lacks internal competence. Number 7. Koros Auto. Launched in 2013, Koros was expected to be a domestic premium car with investment from Israel and Xiali technology. The Koros 3 model once caused a stir when it appeared, but its price of over 100,000 yuan made the market hesitant. Consumers still chose Volkswagen or Nissan instead of paying a high price for a young Chinese brand. The slow release of new products and lack of technological updates caused Koros to quickly lose its position. Finally, the brand was acquired by the Baoneng Group, and from a promising warhorse, Koros was gradually ridiculed as a mobile toilet. The dream of premiumization ended in failure, proving that ambition without strategy and patience only leads to a bitter end. Number 8. Borgward Auto. Borgward was originally a German brand that went bankrupt in 1961, then was acquired by BAIC and heavily promoted as the revival of German cars in China. They launched beautiful slogans like Industry 4.0 aircraft carrier steel and lifetime warranty. Initially, this marketing trick created a strong effect, making many people believe it was truly the return of a legend. But in reality, the product only used a copied engine from Volkswagen and a bought-in transmission. Consumers quickly realized the glossy exterior could not hide the lack of creativity and poor capability. By 2019, Borgward was merged into the Beijing brand, closing a short-lived revival that left a more notorious legacy than a successful one. Number 9. WM Motor. Wyma. WM Motor was once seen as a strong competitor to NIO and XPeng, gathering a leadership team of former Geely and Volvo executives. In the first year, the EX5 model sold nearly 13,000 cars, making a big splash. But a strategic mistake sank them. Instead of focusing on the family market, WM made a wrong turn and entered the ride-hailing service sector. Product quality couldn't keep up, management was chaotic, and finances ran dry, causing the brand to quickly slide. By 2024, WM Motor officially went bankrupt, becoming the first major Chinese electric car company to fall. This is a painful testament that money and good personnel are not enough. Without a long-term vision and a sustainable strategy, failure is inevitable. Number 10. Hyma Auto. Hyma started with a partnership with Mazda, quickly rising and gaining a foothold thanks to Japanese technology. But when Mazda withdrew, Hyma had to fend for itself. They chose to copy Mazda's designs, even making a similar logo to deceive consumers. But the outdated engines, bought-in transmissions, and backward technology led to a serious decline in car quality. Customers soon realized the deception and turned away. By 2024, Hyma's sales were only 15,000 vehicles, barely surviving. This brand provides a clear lesson. Imitation can help in the short term, but it can never replace the true power of innovation and creativity. The 10 brands that were once famous are now just memories. The commonality is a lack of creativity, dependence on foreign technology, or poor management. In contrast, names like BYD, Geely, and NIO survived because they knew to invest in research and remain steadfast with a long-term strategy. The lesson is clear: only creativity and innovation bring a sustainable future.